Shout out to Eric Johnson for suggesting I make a Spider-Man build. Legionnaires, we're back with a Code Vein build, and this one was a little easier than I thought it was gonna be. But also I didn't put that much effort into it. I mean I did, but like I was also a little distracted. I'll probably come back and make like a super tricked out symbiote version of him. I think that'd be like really cool. So let's jump into the build. What I tried to do was start with a Peter Parker baseline and then build Spider-Man from there. So I gave him his hazel brown eyes, his brown hair. I made his face pretty much what it was gonna be, but then afterwards I started adding all the Spider-Man characteristics so that it, I don't know, looked like Peter Parker, but you know, like, so it looked like a kid who puts on face paint and calls himself Spider-Man, you know? The first thing I thought of was trying to figure out how I was going to do his mask. And if you watched my Batwoman build, I just used face paint to cover most of that instead of like concocting some type of mask out of all the other different accessories. I struggled with whether I should let Peter's eyes and pupils be visible, or if I should, you know, white them out like if he was wearing a mask. This decision I spend a lot of time on, and I also go back to it over and over again, changing it. So it's always a work in progress in the background. So the eyes are what they are for the moment. I found these cool looking raccoon type markings, and I thought they were a pretty good shape for his the black base that lines the white of his lenses on his mask. So I fiddled with these for a second. It's a bit narrow than what Spider-Man usually is. It's a bit more narrow than what he usually has, but I tried to make it work for a good minute. Now, layering these markings on top of each other was a decision to try and darken them. I spent a lot of time on face paint because it was really what I thought was going to make him Spider-Man. I tried taking the same little raccoon face curve thing that I had before the black ones, but just make it white. But it really didn't work, and I started looking at his eyes a little differently because I think that is what's really kind of killing the look right now. I decided to go with the white eyes because as I was building Spider-Man, it was getting into a weird freaky mesh of Spider Parker instead of Spider-Man, who's also Peter Parker, you know, whatever. So this was the same face paint thing that I used on Batwoman to kind of create most of the mask, but I didn't know how the layering worked in this game until, you know, it obviously turned everything pink. I found this cool kind of overlapping texture, and I thought it would be really unique for Spider-Man. It looks like, you know, it was self-applied. There's the streak marks on there, which really gave depth to my version of Spider-Man here. I had to go back and fix the layering so that everything didn't turn red when I did the big face paint bit. So here's where I made the decision to go from half mask to full mask, or full paint, I guess, full face paint, was because the spider web design had a little bit of a skew to it, and on the half mask it just didn't look right. So I blew up the bottom face paint to almost to his chin, so that the web looked a lot better. Also, I straight gave up on the eyes being white. I think, or well, the bigger lens part. I think I just accepted the L and took his eyes as that part. Another thing is the web. I chose silver instead of black because it just popped better than the black did. I will say though, the face paint over his mouth and nose is definitely 100% cursed, and that is why you'll see I made an executive decision at a little later on. I thought Spider-Man should enjoy some tunes, so I gave him some headphones. I chose to make them blue and silver because obviously when he's not Spider-Man, he could still use them and it wouldn't be so blatantly obvious that, you know, they're Spider-Man, I guess, branded or whatever. Also, the silver matches the silver webbing, and the blue is just a very casual color that anybody can wear. So here's the executive decision. He's gonna wear a gas mask. This whole Code Vein, I don't know how many people actually played the game, but Code Vein, it has like a weird story where these characters need gas masks, and that's why there's this option here. But I also kind of thought that, like I said earlier, his mouth looked a little cursed, so he needed to cover it up. The only prerequisite I had for this Spider-Man was I wanted him to have no sleeves. And a lot of these have options for taking off different parts of the suits, of the outfits, and the hoodie one was absolutely perfect. Having the option to take off the sleeves was exactly what I really wanted for him. Also, it had pouches, it had long cuffs, which could be like web shooters. The only thing about this was it had a weird coloring scheme thing where the shirt ran down the one leg, like the shirt color ran down the one short leg, which is like, why? But whatever, I just had to work with it. I kept his little bag like mundane color, because I think in Spectacular Spider-Man, if any of you guys have seen that, which I'm sure you have, he is seen holding like his little satchel bag, and it kind of reminded me of that. And you know, that has like his camera, his school stuff, you know, kind of like his go bag. He puts a suit in there too. So yeah, like at this point I'm kind of done, but I don't want to be done, right? So I'm kind of fishing for stuff to add onto this Spider-Man. I'm spinning him around, taking stuff on and off, trying to figure out what he like really would need. And usually when I'm at this point in a build, I go fishing through the accessories to see if there's anything I can add. I started trying to figure out how I was going to do a spider symbol. And how I was going to do that kind of made me rethink my color scheme. Because the spider is never usually on the blue part, right? I flipped the colors and then I flipped them back because the spider being on the blue part and changing the blue part to red wasn't enough for me to sacrifice how much better the red hoodie looked than the blue. Now the tiny spider I gave him, I thought wasn't super spider shaped. So I went to go find something bigger and had more of a kind of, I don't know, sprawling presence. So yeah, we're pretty much done, but stay tuned to the end of the video because there's something really, really cool that I thought that absolutely kind of sealed the deal on this build. I wasn't too confident in it until this moment that's coming up after all the model shots of how, you know, he looks and all that.
Very nice. Of course. Come on. Let's meet again. Let's do it. That's disappointing. You're an inspiration. Want me to wrap this up? Bring it on. Want me to wrap this up?
Come here.
Eesh. Yo, you was... Hey, get back here. All right, bring it. Hey, get back here. All right, bring it. Thank you. Wow, thanks. Muchas gracias. I'm really sorry. I screwed up. You see, I'll miss you. I hope to see you around. Don't give up. Can we really make it? Good luck. May your journey be fruitful. Sorry, what was that? Sorry, what was that? I've never seen something like this. Great. Let me guide you. I like that idea. That's some real technique. There's no way I can top that. How about a little drink? I'm beat. I was scared for a second there. I won, right? I was scared for a second there. No hard feelings.